Hey, what's up, guys? Austin the Money here. I recently got a new mic, so let me know how the audio sounds. But today I want to get into basically the markets are overbought and how I'm de-risking some positions and basically not attacking the market recently as I have been. So we have been on an absolute ripper for the past 3 months. Obviously, I wouldn't really count the big jump, but past 3 months we're up a good 12.5% or $15,000. I've been aggressively selling puts, selling covered calls, and basically just running the wheel strategy. But I usually run the wheel strategy in the money or at the money, depending if I'm bullish. I usually do not sell out of the money covered calls. Those are a little more riskier. They do not protect me down from the downside. So like if the stock were to go against me, the covered call would only protect me for, the little bit that I got from it. But when they're in the money, I'm protected a lot more from the downside. My profit is limited a lot, but I'm protected. So that's how I prefer to do it. That way it's a lot more consistent. I can consistently make similar money every single week, which I like to do. I don't like it to be all over the place. Like, I don't like my portfolio to be doing all this crazy shit. But as you can see, when I started it, it's a very consistent line. So that's my goal in this portfolio, is to be more consistent. But let's get over here into Webull. As you can see, down at the bottom, the RSI right now is about a 69. 70 is overbought, so we're very close to being overbought. And usually the last week of July is when the market starts to turn, especially coming into August and then coming into the weakest month, September. So I'm personally going to be more cash. I'm probably going to play Google earnings with these puts. And then after that, I'm going to be either selling super deep in the money calls and puts just to collect a little bit of premium. But I'm mainly trying to stay cash, at least have a bigger cash position, so that if we do get this dip, this is the 8 and 21 EMA. If we do get a dip down to the 21 EMA, I can take advantage of it. The worst thing you could do is be all in at all-time highs and not have any cash to buy the dip with. Or, if we get, 10%, 20%, if we get a correction, not be able to buy the correction. So I'm being very disciplined. I'm going to start a cash position, probably try to collect that 4% APY that Robinhood offers, and just be slightly invested in the market. I don't have a really percentage, maybe like at least 25, 30% cash, maybe more, we'll see. But that's my goal. A lot of stocks are overbought. The S&P 500 for sure is right there at it. Let me see. QQQ is probably overbought. Yeah, QQQ's RSI is at 71 right now. So, overbought. I know for a fact Hood is probably overbought, and probably SoFi. SoFi's RSI is at 78. So do not be surprised if you see these stocks pull back. The 21 EMA is at 19, so do not be surprised if you see SoFi at 19 in a week or two. You shouldn't be surprised. Stocks are just really overbought, and they could stay overbought, right? Maybe this week we still have a good week in the market, but sooner or later, it's going to pull back. The RSI cannot stay overbought forever. I mean, if you zoom out, the RSI was overbought for a pretty nice while down here. For what? About a month maybe? And then we pulled on back. As you can see, we pulled on back eventually. Went back up, almost got overbought again, and then we pulled on back a lot. And then we got oversold. That was a great time to hop into SoFi, is when you get oversold. But right now, I'm not going to be starting any new positions in SoFi. It's not happening. I love the company, love the stock, not hopping any new positions. Hood, Jesus, 79.5. I would stay away from this stock with a 10-foot bull. And usually when stocks get really high from this 8 EMA, you can see they tend to pull back, right? You can see right here, stock got way far away from the blue line. Then it comes on back closer to the blue line. And that's a bullish momentum stock, right? As stocks are bouncing off this blue line, very bullish. But when it gets too far away from the blue line, it's going to pull back. It is. So, yeah, like I said, RSI is almost 80 on Hood. Would not be entering any calls right now. I would just wait for a nice dip opportunity, wait for the RSI to get back under 70, stuff like that. But anyways, those are my plans. I'm just gonna stay cash. Wait for the VIX. I'm gonna wait for the VIX to maybe get above 20 or so. Enter in. Let me see what the VIX. Yeah, VIX is at 16 right now. So another thing I'm gonna be doing is whenever you get these really nice spikes, for me it'll be above probably like the 40 to 50 range. If you get a spike above 50 or above 40, I'm going to be buying a lot of calls in the markets, because every single time we have got a spike like this, it has marked the bottom. Okay, this is the tariffs. Yeah, this is the tariffs. I don't know what this is. It looks completely different on my TradingView account. Maybe, let me check Webull, because it looks a lot different there. Oh, I had the VIX actually saved right here. Let's see. Zoom out. Let me just go to weekly. That'll be better. Okay, there we go. All right, so here, there we go. If you would have bought calls when the VIX was at 50, you would have printed, because that was the market bottom. If I could find it with my fat finger, that was the market bottom. And guess what? Back in August of last year, I think it was August 4th, August 5th, if you would have bought calls when the VIX was above 50, 60, your calls would have printed. Same thing back here with COVID. If you would have bought calls when the VIX was way up here, you would have printed. So I'm also going to be saving money for nasty spikes in the VIX, especially mainly above 30, but I would say 40. Oh, for sure. I'm going to be hammering in if it's above 40. My personal thing. I'm doing this as not financial advice, of course. But as you can see, the VIX is very low, and we're kind of due for a little bounce in the VIX. Everything's just really overbought right now. And Warren Buffett's famous quote, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." Fearful. A lot of people are greedy right now. Obviously, we are in extreme greed on the index, and markets are overbought. So everyone's very greedy right now. But Trump's tariffs kick in August 1st, I believe, which is very, very soon. It's in a couple weeks. And that very well could shock the market. I mean, that could be the turning point, right? We could be fine this week, and then we head into big tech earnings. And then right after big tech earnings, the tariffs go into effect for all these countries. So, that's a lot of, that's going to be a lot of volatility, in my opinion. A lot of volatility. VIX is going to spike, and I'm going to have some cash because I want to take advantage of these opportunities. So, just want to get on here and say this before the week starts, because, just in case anyone has similar ideas or similar thoughts. But, all right, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm about to go eat dinner. Hope if you guys made it this far, I do appreciate your support 110%. And peace.